Okay, so now we're going to talk about matrix multiplication. Alright, so suppose we've got two matrices, A and B, and we need to have their order. So let's say the matrix A has order m by n, and matrix B has order n by r. Okay, so m by n, n by r. Make note, in order to multiply matrices, so these two numbers have to be equal. If they are not equal, then we cannot multiply these two matrices together. Alright, so what we're going to do at the very beginning is going to write out the order of each matrix right up top, and then we're going to determine if these two inside numbers here are the same. If they are, then we can multiply them, and we'll get a new matrix, C, and it will have order m by r. So this right here, m by r, is what the new dimensions of C will be. Alright, so that's the plan. I think some examples will help us see what's going on. Alright, so A times B. Now, this is a 2 by 2. This B is also a 2 by 2. Those two inside numbers are the same, so yay, we're excited we can actually multiply these together. Alright, so I would write matrix A first, 2, -1, 1, 4, and then matrix B right next to it, 0, 1, 3, 8. Alright, and so the resultant matrix will be another 2 by 2, right? So this is going to be a 2 by 2 as well. So we have 4 entries to find. We have this one, this one, this one, and this one. Alright, so that's what we need to find. Now in order to find them, there is a little pattern that's going to come into play here. Alright, so let's find this first entry right here. So we need to make note what row and what column we are on. Right? So this would be row 1, column 1. That's to get this spot right here. Everybody with me? Okay, so now come back over here to your two matrices, A and B. You want, from the left matrix, you want whatever row that you want. So if we're at row 1, we're going to want row 1. And from the right matrix, you're going to want whatever column that you need. Well, if you're in the first column, then you're going to want this first column here. Follow me? Alright, so for the left matrix, you use whatever row that you need. For the right matrix, you use whatever column that you need. And then you take your fingers. Alright, everybody get your fingers up. Okay. Take the left finger and put it to the beginning of the row that you want. So that would be right here on this 2. Right? Then take your right finger and put it on the right matrix there. Put it at the top of the column that you want to use, which would be that 0 right there. With me? Okay. Multiply those two numbers together. That gives you what? That gives you 0. Okay, so hold on to 0 for a second. Now our fingers are going to move. The left finger is going to move across, while the right finger is going to move down, and they move at the same rate. Alright, so here we go. We have 2 times 0 is 0, then our fingers move. See how that happened? Multiply those together. -1 and 3 multiply together give you a -3. Everybody cool? Alright, so here we've got 2 times 0 is 0, and here we've got -1 times 3 is -3. You add those numbers together. So we're going to go 2 times 0 is 0 plus -1 times 3 is -3, so 0 plus -3 is a -3, and that's what goes in that spot right there. Alright, so let's do this one right here. What row are we on? Well, we're on the first row, so we're going to need this first row. But now we're on the second column, so we're going to need this second column from our right matrix here. So put your fingers in place. Right? Left finger goes to the beginning of the row you want, so we're left to the first row. Right finger goes to the top of the column you want, so now we're in the second column. And you multiply them up. 2 times 1 is 2, and then your fingers move. -8, so we have 2 plus -8, which would be -6 is what goes in that spot right there. Okay, try this last row. What row and what column do we need? Well, we want the second row this time and first column. So you put your fingers in place. You go, alright, that's 0 plus 12, which would be 12. And then to get this last entry, you're in row 2, column 2. So put your fingers in place and go, all right, that's 1 plus 32, so that gives you 33. See how that happened? All right, and so this is the new matrix when you multiply A and B together. So what about B times A? Let's do B times A. All right, so this time we'll put B first, which would be 0, 1, 3, 8, and then A, 2, negative 1, 1, 4. See, all right, this is a 2 by 2, this is a 2 by 2. Yay, these two numbers are the same, so we can't multiply them together. All right, and your resultant matrix is also going to be another 2 by 2. All right, so again, we're going to have 4 spots to find. All right, but this time it's B times A, so that's when we have B on the left and A on the right. All right, so they get this first number right here. You're in row 1, column 1. So left finger at the beginning of the row that you want. And remember, the left matrix is the row that you want. The right matrix is the column that you want. So your right index finger goes to the top of the column you want. Multiply those together. 0, then your fingers move. Plus 1. So that would be a 1. And then to get this second entry right here, we're going to have the first row, finger in the first spot. Second column, so index finger goes to the second column. Multiply together. 0, then your fingers move. Plus 4. So that would be 4. Then to get this entry right here, you're in the second row. So at the beginning of row 2, put your left finger, and you're at your first column. So put your fingers in place and go. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 8 times 1 is 8. So 6 plus 8 is 14. All right, and then the last number, what do you get? Fingers in place, you get row 2, column 2. So negative 3 plus 32, which would be 29. And that would be B times A. And then we note, hey, A times B does not equal B times A. So order makes a huge difference. Right? It matters which matrix is first and which matrix is second. So make sure you get them down, right, properly with whatever's the left matrix, whatever's the right matrix, and then see if you can multiply them together. And if you can, then you go out and you find them. Right? I want to do one more. All right, A times B. Again, rewrite A and B, and then look at their dimensions. All right, so this would be 3 by 2. This would be a 2 by 2. These numbers are the same. We say, yay, we can multiply them together. And this time we're going to get a 3 by 2 matrix over here. All right. So this time we have 6 entries to find. Follow me? Okay, and then you go. We're in row 1, column 1. So fingers in place, row 1, column 1. 6 plus 2. So that would be 8. And then to get this entry right here, put your fingers in place, first row, second column. So 3 plus negative 6 would be negative 3. And then to get the second row here the second row, first column, so left finger on the second row, right finger on the first column, negative 2 plus 5, which would be 3. And then to get the second row, second column, fingers in place, negative 1 times 1 is negative 1, then your fingers move, plus negative 15, so that would be a negative 16. And then to get this last row down here, you get 0 plus 1 is 1, and 0 plus negative 3 is negative 3. Alright, so just make sure that you get the left finger goes to the beginning of the row that you want, and your right finger goes to the top of the column that you want in order to get whatever entry you're looking for. Alright, so what about B times A in this case? All right, so this would be a 2 by 2, and this would be a 3 by 2, and those two numbers are not the same, so we cannot multiply them together. Can't do B times A. All right, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. All right, and that's because your fingers need to have the same number of places to move. Right? They have to move the same number of times because they're moving at the same time. So you can't have one finger have more rows or columns to go to than the other. Right? And that's why we need these two numbers here to be the same. All right. Practice up. Get your fingers in place and go. That's it. Study well. Please let me know if you have any questions.